It's okay, it's okay. So what are your plans for today, the Christmas tree decorating? Why not? We're doing an interview.
I don't know. Decorate the tree. I don't know what you want me to say.
Sounds good. What are you grumpy for? Oh no! Blackie, is the tree good?
No.
You're away as well? Hi, welcome to Consolevania. Do you believe in the Christmas spirit? I certainly do. I believe in the Christmas spirit completely and with all my heart. I'm very excited about what Santa's going to be bringing this year. And I'm very excited by what next year promises. Obviously, as I speak to you right now, the news is only just broken yesterday about Omicron, not the David Bowie game, the new variant of coronavirus. But let's not let that wear us down. Let's not worry about that. Okay, we're going to keep it positive. We're working from home. Me and Ryan are separated again, just in case we infect each other. Again, because it's back, Omicron it's called now, no the David Bowie game, just to clarify, a new variant of the virus. So we'll put together some reviews, we'll be getting our booster jags soon. Everything's going to be fine, don't worry, it's all going to be alright. I'll have a wee chat about Games Master later, Ryan's going to review Halo, it's fine, just forget about the virus, it's good, pandemic's done. Merry Christmas.
Give the kids a new look. Give your ears a new experience. Take a step up. Smooth things down, all at Asda price.
All the prices are low whenever you go. That's Asda price.
Switch on to TV Times this week. There's so much in it. A complete 7-day guide to ITV programmes, big features on the stars and series you'll be seeing, and Family Scene has something for everyone. Stu Pot's Treasure Trail, Felicity Murray's Fashion, Katie Boyle's Letter Page, Roger Elliott's Forecasts and Horoscopes, and Kathy Webber's Home Cooking.
I never knew there was so much in it.
And there's £10,000 of back-to-school clothes to be won in this week's TV Times.
This month I've been working from home quite a lot. It's really beginning to drive me off my nut because I'm hardly seeing anybody. I'm not going out or anything. I'm just going to the supermarket every now and again, doing a stream. It's not the same thing, is it? But in between working, because I don't cane it like I used to. Usually I just like work until I was dead, pretty much. But now I take breaks and stuff. And in between working from home, I've been playing some of the computer game things that you're into. And it's getting all wintry outside as well. You're getting like maybe 2.5, 3 hours of daylight now in Scotland every day. So you just want to hibernate, don't you? You just want to kind of wear 6 layers and a hat and just hibernate, don't you? And take it easy. That's what you want. It's good for you to take it easy, I think, sometimes. So can you see me? Can you have a look at this thing before we talk about the games and stuff? Can you have a look at this thing for me and see what you think? Because it's driving me off my nut. I'm trying to be good to myself, but it's driving me off my nut. Leave your opinions in the comments under this. As I say, in between working from home, I do like to take some breaks. So in these breaks, what I've been doing is I've been taking the side of the bath off because I sealed it, like 2 years ago I sealed it, but it still seems that it's letting in, somehow it's still letting in water. And just in certain wee gaps, like in this hinge, there's just some water getting in behind the bath. And it's not like it's streaming down, but there is people staying downstairs for me, so it's making me really nervous. Plus also when the water gets behind there, I know that it can work up the way as well as down, so it can get behind the back of the tiles and make the tiles pop off. Does this look serious to you? There seems to be quite a lot of discoloration and stuff. Obviously it's not been installed properly, but does this seem serious to you? I'm probably blowing it all out of proportion, to be honest. Do you want to look at games? I said, do you want to look at games? You know, even going to answer? Fuck's sake. Right, okay, let's look at games. Fucking hell. It just feels to me like you wouldn't really need to reseal a bath as often as that. I spent another 40 or 50 quid I've spent on resealing products there. I think the person that installed the bath and the boiler in my flat was an absolute chancer. Hello there! Sorry for going on about that bath, it's just that winters in Dunbarton are absolutely no joke, so that bath is going to definitely get used. As I was saying right at the start, winter is more or less here. It feels like it's getting right cold and it makes you want to curry in and play some cosy games, doesn't it? Halo Infinite is on the Xbox right now. The Xbox. And I don't mind telling you that despite being absolutely chronically crap at it, I had quite a fun time playing this game. This guy's not seen me. Yes! A rare kill. Normal service has been resumed. Yeah, fun's definitely the word that stands out for me with this. It's lovely and colourful. It's got all the Halo noises that I remember from when I was away when I was playing the first Halo game. I think I was only about three or four when the first Halo game came out. But it's a cracking romp even when you're getting absolutely beasted at it. It genuinely makes me interested to see what Halo Infinite, the campaign, is going to be like. If me, somebody who, I think I'm going to sneeze. If me, somebody... Nah, it's away. Somebody that doesn't even like first-person shooters, and definitely doesn't like multiplayer first-person shooters, for me to go, this is intriguing. It's doing something right. It's fun. And here's something else. All I've seen is people moaning about these Grand Theft Auto remasters. Of course, most of the moaning that I have seen takes us into the world of moaning about frame rates and shadows and lighting and yada 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 yada. I've been playing San Andreas, and here's a shocker for you here. Because I stuck it on, I definitely remember starting this game, but I stuck it on and I realised, I've never played this before. I've never actually played this before. These ballers are after me here. Trichies. So instead of playing San Andreas and getting obsessed with shadows and lighting and shocking character animations, the animations are actually pretty shite, to be honest. People's necks are going all over the place, bunch of rubbernecks in this game. What I'm doing is going, this cycling is fucking brilliant. The experience of playing this game, the experience of being able to do what you want, pretty much whenever you want, battering a guy in a gym because he won't teach you how to fight, that doesn't really make much sense. It's got me, is what I'm trying to say. The game has got me. For the first time in I don't know how long, I can hardly put this down. It's totally fucked. Where'd he come from? I absolutely love it. It's totally fucked and I love it. You know something I really love about GTA San Andreas, the Definitive Collection Edition? These folks are not getting up with this, are they? Some kind of parking dispute. Is that what dogging is? I've never done it. Something I really love about this game is the fact that you can put it on, and see when you put it on, you're just playing the game. You put it on, and the first thing you're doing is you're playing the game. Can you remember that? Remember when games did that? They let you do that. Like, top of their priority list was, let's get the player involved with the game. So as soon as you turn the game on, you're playing the game. Full disclosure, the game is a total broken mess, but you're still playing it. It's still your big toy that you can play with, and it's an absolutely massive toy, even by today's standards. It's a big area that you get to enjoy. For me, nothing beats riding the BMX. This isn't a BMX, but nothing beats riding a BMX through the city. It's just very relaxing and quite a unique experience. I think I'll keep saying experience. I'm still having an enjoyable experience with this game, janky graphics aside, daft gameplay aside, homophobic references aside. My enjoyment of the world and the characters and the story promotes a connectivity between me and the game. I've been doing these series of meditations recently, among the other meditations that I do, obviously because I'm meditation daft, but the meditations are about connectivity, about connecting you to your fuller, less distracted life experience. When you feel properly connected, that has an undiluted quality to it, which is how I feel about this game. There's just an immediacy of my enjoyment of it. I'm, to an extent, kind of inside it, a wee bit part of it, and they've achieved that with good writing, good characters, making the game fun. It still has loads of good music in it, and as I say, it seems to be a real consideration that the player is in charge. The player comes first, and it has the effect of making the game very enjoyable. Really fucking daft and stupid and broken, but really enjoyable. It's exactly what I was after when I was looking for winter game. I'm not paying for that. I'm not insured, so I'm not paying for you. Just leg it, mate. We've not got insurance, mate. As I was saying, it's exactly what I was after when I was looking for some like cosy winter gaming. Do you want to see a trick? So San Andreas has really hit me pretty hard. I'm really quite
taken with it. You just can't beat cruising with a bit of Snoop and Dre and killing some guys. I mean, they're no real guys, they deserve it because they're not very well animated, so they all deserve to die. You're probably doing them a favour, they're probably in agony because they're so badly animated, their necks are probably torture. It's just reminded me of all day time spent playing GTA games and how you create your own story a lot of the time. This is me trying to escape to the spray paint shop and a Roser has caught me right at the very, very last minute because I didn't notice the bastard coming up at the side of the car. Man, I really, really, really like this game. I saw an awful lot of people describing the GTA remasters as soulless and I just could not disagree more. Without question, the game is janky as fuck, but it's got atmosphere and it's got soul and it's fun. It's fun, man. Last in my 2021 winter playlist is Animal Crossing because it just won't go away. They've released the new patch for it, the 2.0 patch, in which they included a lot of stuff that you won't see in this coverage. Gyroids and stuff, coffees, you can go for a coffee now, that's me going for a coffee with my cousin. Something we've not actually managed in real life in literally years now because of the pandemic. The updates are good, it's a good reason to pick the game up again, but it is still mainly brilliant. Animal Crossing, a great game for connecting. Again, sitting video chatting while visiting each other's islands. I love this update, by the way. It's no quite complete free first person mode, but you can now view the Animal Crossing world through your camera and basically just go for a POV view of everything. What an addition that is. Free as well, a free update. It's not like Nintendo, is it? It's hard to get cozier than Animal Crossing, isn't it? The season hasn't quite tipped over into winter yet, the trees are just turning. Look at the state of my house, man, I've got far too much stuff. I'm not really on board with this new edition where characters for your village can just turn up unannounced. Sometimes it's hard to get rid of them. I am on board with this mode though, where you can take close-up pictures of your pals while they're stoning up asleep or eating a donut. Cozy, cozy Animal Crossing. Cozy, cozy, wrap up warm, cozy. Sees. Get out my house.
Tweed have Christmas wrapped up beautifully, with gifts like Tweed perfume and this elegant Parfum de Toilette spray. Give her Tweed this Christmas. Tweed, the beautiful Christmas gift.
Got electronic games, a set of darts and a board. I got a Texas calculator for my cousin Claude. I got high fidelity, and a unit for to hold it when my arms get bored. I got shirts and ties, the latest yet. I got my oldest buddy, a denim gift set. I got a music center that's a pleasure to receive. Got Mara television, so small she won't believe. Now did you die?
The choice you want, the choice and the prices you want to pay. That's the value of your Woolworths store.
From now to Christmas Day.
Now, all of my life, I've been a fan of the Japanese RPG. Big fan, everybody knows. Rab loves a Japanese RPG. But it was really in the PlayStation 1 era that I got into it. In a big way. I remember that me and Ryan used to go down a wee shop called CA Games, which was in the West End of Glasgow, and we'd go in there and we'd buy imported PlayStation 1 games for a fortune. We gave this guy a fortune. We gave him a fortune, right? And he ended up retiring really young, this guy, and going away and living abroad. Well, for our money, we guys' money that we'd saved up to spend on ridiculously expensive imported RPGs. And, you know, that was where we played things like Xenogears for the first time. It's where we played things like Thousand Swords. It's where we played things, you know, we were catching up on all the stuff, Breath of Fire and all that kind of obscure stuff, right into the Japanese RPGs in a big way. But I've always kind of thought to myself, what is a Japanese RPG? Like, what is it that makes it work? I love the Dragon Quest games because of how simple and how stripped back they are. I love the Japanese RPGs that have really intense, elaborate systems that you need to get used to. I love that as well. But I played a game recently that I'm just obsessed with. I captured some footage. I want to show you it But this is fascinating because it strips down an RPG to its absolute base components, and yet still it works. Fascinating experiment, take a look. Surprise, surprise, this fascinating experiment comes from Square Enix. I used to always call them Square Enix, by the way, so I'm not going to change that now. I'm just calling them Square Enix, even though I know everybody goes Enix from Square Enix. Anyway, this is Dungeon Encounters. This is one I picked up on the eShop, and I kind of had a wee look at it, and I thought, hell, it looks like a kind of board game or something. Actually, what it is the most pure Japanese RPG you'll ever find. Yes, indeed, if you look at this picture here, you will see that your wee person is just running around, filling in blocks, like colouring them in, colouring in spaces in a grid. This is your party exploring a dungeon. And I know what you might be thinking. There's no graphics, it's just a grid. But right away this game kind of says to you, right, hold on though, but this is what you do in every RPG that you play. In every RPG you play, you're kind of doing this. You're kind of just running around, exploring all the corners, like filling out the areas and working out what's there. As you can see there, you saw a wee resurrection shrine a minute ago, represented by a number. There we go. Heal all the party members. You don't have to go to a church, you don't have to talk to any NPCs, you just step on a number, press a button and it does it. And as you can see, for charting lots of tiles you get extra ability points. So this is by exploring. You're still exploring. Here's a fight. Now in truth, this game wouldn't work at all if the combat wasn't as good as it is, and the combat is great. It's really crunchy. It really makes you think. You have to really balance your character's abilities and their powers and their weapons to make sure you take down the baddies. And it's a very simple system as well. It uses the old ATB system, by the way, so it's like very tuned into that kind of Final Fantasy style of RPG. You're in your comfort zone right away, but it's just all pulled right back. And it is one of the complete truths of the RPG experience that any game where you have a bastard sword is a brilliant game. You never get tired of seeing a bastard sword, and there's lots of great wee items in this game, like that exquisite timepiece he uses there, which can reset the enemy's ATB bar. Oh man, there's just every battle you enjoy getting into them, you enjoy getting into the fights, and in all the best RPGs you do enjoy getting into the fights. And the good thing about this is there's no fucking about, it's just the fight, the mechanics, no messing about. Here you can see the abilities that you can carry about with your party. Here you can see a log of all the things you've discovered, and it's just a load of coordinates. As you unlock stuff and discover things, they're there charted for you as coordinates so you can go and revisit them again. But there's no like, it's no beside the magical tree by the forest of blah blah blah. It's just grid number fucking 17, coordinate 14. That's it. That's it. That's what it tells you. And as you can see, there's a lot of floors to discover. Now this is quite early on in the game. I've went much further than this now, and this game gets really hard, is all I want to say to you. Here you can see all the party members you can choose, and the only real story that you'll get in this game, the only real story that they're going to hand you is a wee bit of backstory for all the characters. All the characters have a wee bit of backstory, and there's a lot of characters in it, and it's amazing how much you get attached to them even though you know very little about them. It still works. Somehow it still works. It's really weird and shouldn't work, and yet so addictive. And look at this, look, here's a wee kind of treasure hunt thing. It's like you get these wee riddles, X marks the spot, and it just shows you an illustration of a grid, and this could be anywhere. You've just got to go, right, I need to, and my way of noting this was by taking a photo of that with my phone on my camera so that I could then later on try and find that point in the grid. It's fucking great, man. Even that feels like genius to me. It's great. No, the truth is, there's no much sexy footage to show you there. You know what I mean? There's no big cutscenes, there's no big... Every level is pretty much like that, just a grid of squares, you move around, colour them in. Why is it so compelling? I've played it a lot since I captured that footage. I'm quite far into it now, must be approaching the end. It gets very difficult. You realise you actually need to have quite a lot of characters in your party and stuff, so that's if you play this, make sure to train up other characters because you will need them. But it just really fascinates me that they've went ahead and made an RPG that is just the very bare bones of what an RPG is, which proves that now, as we're in the day and age of amazing RPGs like Tales of Arise and stuff that are incredibly ambitious and have a load of scope and very lavishly produced, that still you can just make a wee game like this, a grid, running about, the battle mechanics, the systems, that's it all works. Fascinating. Just makes me love the Japanese RPG even more. You need to get this game. You need to get this game. If you love Japanese RPGs, a total no-brainer. And if you're just somebody that's interested in game design, this is probably one of the most interesting game design games that's been released in years and years and years and years. 97%.
When a woman is alone with Badadas, anything can happen. Badadas Vita Bath Gelée with extract of horse chestnuts. Things happen after a Badadas bath.
When the sunshine pours from Kellogg's cornflakes, get a sunshine crunch and a sunshine taste. Get a sunshine start to every day. Yes, it's smart to start the Kellogg cornflakes way. Yes, it's smart to start with a sunshine taste. So it's smart to start with Kellogg's cornflakes. With Kellogg's cornflakes.
Hi there. What camera am I talking on? This one? This is the bit where I talk about some indie games.
And he's a lovely moment, isn't it? Don't sulk!
Omno, that's its name. Oh, that's it there. Omno. Like Omno Mo Lemmings. Jesus Christ. Omno is an indie adventure game that's, as you probably can tell just for looking at it, has a Journey influence and other things like Journey. Similar to Journey and other things like Journey, you won't get too long out of this game, maybe 2 or 3 hours of playing. Doesn't overstay its welcome. One of the biggest pluses of Omno, I would say, is how nice it makes you feel, because it does have a very attractive look to it. It is a little smooth, a little simplistic and smooth. But it is a bit kind of toddler-proof. It is like they've gone round the game and taped all the sharp edges so that you don't bump your head on it. So you can have like quite a positive mental health experience. It's got very pretty, soothing, relaxing music. The gameplay isn't too tricky. But as I say, the look is a wee bit soft for me. There's something about the lack of grittiness in this package that kind of leaves you with a feeling that it lacks character. But please don't take that to mean that I don't enjoy the game, because I definitely do. I don't exactly know why I said it like that, but I did. I do enjoy it, and I did say it like that. You're playing as a nameless, voiceless cat. I know, a nameless, voiceless character in a video game. I know, can you believe it? And you're traversing through these different, let's call them biospheres. Are we allowed to call them biosphere? I don't know what I'll need to Google what a biosphere is. Environments, you know what I'm trying to say, environments. You've got sandy bits, snowy bits, jungly bits, that type of stuff. And you progress through these environments, biospheres, by collecting what appears to be light. Light helps you power up, which helps you do some of the puzzles. It's definitely pleasant. It's pleasant and relaxing, if not the most in-depth and challenging game. There's a simplicity to Omno and unfortunately XO1 that inevitably leaves you feeling as if it lacks depth. I believe I have mentioned a few times on Consolevania that I was really looking forward to playing XO1 because there's been playable demos on the Steam store for quite a long time. Now you can play XO1 on Game Pass as well as other places, but I played it on Game Pass. It's out now, by the way. This is it, out now. It still looks absolutely fantastic. They made a really strange decision though to drop out the music really often, so what you're left listening to is just the ambient sound of the game, which is cool because your craft makes nice noises and the environment is quite lavish and stylish. But you definitely want the music all the time, so why it fades out, I've got absolutely no clue. Also, a bit of a gripe that I've got with it is the story, quotation marks story. I like this 2001 effect that they've got going on here when you get to one of the jump gates. Basically you just find the gameplay itself is really simplistic. You're looking for these propellant systems that take you to the next area, but then you've also got like the text and the occasional JPEG of a space crew flashing up on screen, but the story doesn't really make any... They've tried to go vague with it, which they've accomplished because it doesn't make any sense. I don't really know why it's there, the story. It's a bit like a computer made the game in that respect. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't know why they've included it. Should have just stuck to a completely mysterious, abstract experience, rather than attach a narrative that never feels like it fits. In very short bursts, I do still really enjoy Exo. I've got no idea what Jupiter's got to do with this game. Zero idea what Jupiter's got to do with this game. Yeah, in short bursts this is still enjoyable and relaxing, but it never pierces through into feeling like a complete experience. Really pains me to say it, but it still feels like a kind of novelty thing rather than a game I would recommend to people. In case you don't know, that wee craft that you're controlling there manipulates gravity in a way that you can gain power by drawing from the gravity and then propelling yourself into the air. So you gain speed by going down. I don't know how to explain it. You grab the gravity off the ground or the water. I don't know how to explain it. No, what you're doing is when you're on the ground, what you're doing is you're grinding I don't know how to explain it. Imagine you're going down like a water slide. Imagine you weren't too self-conscious to take your tap off and you went to the swimming baths and there's a water slide and you go in the water slide and you're sliding down the water slide. Instead of when you hit the water, belly flopping and everybody laughing at you, what happens in this game is when you get to the bottom, it's like you've gathered some of the gravity power. Is that a good enough explanation? I'll definitely still play this now and again. I'll definitely still pick this up and play it now and again. But it isn't the complete game that I was hoping it was maybe going to be. I would say definitely give it a shot on Game Pass or something like that. But don't go spending mad money on it because it's nearly Christmas, you know what I mean? You need to get your ma all the fungal creams she needs. They're going to cost you an absolute fortune, mate.
So I just wanted to show you here that the Switch ditch continues at pace. There's Shin Megami Tensei, which I'm playing just now. There's a whole load of stuff up there. There's the house in Fata Morgana there, which I'm going to do a big kind of long video on, which will be coming within the next couple of weeks. A wee Christmas treat for you. And, you know, all this stuff, lots of stuff. But I've been getting some really fascinating indie stuff. These two bad boys have really stood out to me. Uh-oh. Oh. Here's Rabwee's mad Japanese rhythm games again. This is called Muse Dash. And it's just immediately charming, isn't it? I know Ryan's going to be looking at this going, immediately charming. Looks like it's for pedos. Anyway, I love this game. It's a rhythm game, but it's a rhythm game that strikes you right at the start as something that might be quite easy, and then it really ramps up difficulty-wise. Very simple. You're kind of fighting. The levels are constructed so that you're fighting enemies as they come towards you, so it's got that feel of a kind of platformy action battler, but actually all you need to do is tune into the music. Low attacks, high attacks, some special attacks like this, combos. The music's great, and like with any great rhythm game, you never ever feel that the timing is fucked. It always feels completely on point. Now, what I like about this game is that when you play it handheld, you can use the touchscreen. You're tapping on the right side of the touchscreen and the left side of the touchscreen for low and high. And what I like is that when you're playing it docked on the telly, you can use the buttons and it works just as well with either of them, which is uncommon, to be honest. It's uncommon. The game is all about getting big long combos. You always get these big kind of boss enemies that appear that you need to kind of parry and knock back. They'll fire things at you, parry them and knock them back and try and do big combos on them, but it's really just a rhythm game dressed up in a nice kind of action game costume. Speaking of costumes, there's some of the wee lassies with different gear on. Look, this stuff, you just have to put up with this stuff, right? I mean, I just don't know. Look, it's just a cultural thing, right? That's what we say, right? It's a cultural thing. Earlier, that's what they're into. It's fine. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I like this character, a wee kind of drawing character, and you take these characters in, and each character you choose has special abilities as well, which will they can jump for longer and higher. They can, ones that have kind of more health than other characters, so you can kind of tune your abilities to certain levels to help you out a wee bit. But man, just listen and enjoy. Now listen, I'm going to get really good at this game, I've decided. I'm really good at rhythm games in general. If there's a type of game that I'm good at, it's rhythm games. So I'm going to really dig into this, really try and get good at it. Try to become as good at this as I am at Guitar Man, as I am at Hatsune Miku. It's really good. And I think you can pick it up in the eShop for quite cheap. I get the physical version obviously because I'm a wank. But you can get it on the eShop today if you want. It's probably about 15 quid or something, I've no checked. I mean, it's adorable, don't you agree? It's completely adorable, and the rhythm game master will not be defeated by it. Now that I've told you about how good I am at rhythm games, I want to tell you about something else that's very special. It's a game called Vectronome. Vectronome was one that I saw on Amazon, and I hadn't heard anything about it, and I saw that the physical version was on sale, and I thought, that looks interesting. I might pick this up, see what it's like. I always like to take a punt. It was only like 15 quid or something physical. I thought, I'll take a wee punt on this, get it flung into the Switch ditch, right? And then this thing landed on my doorstep. I'm doing a big build up here, but you'll see why. This game is fucking amazing. You're a block, and you're trying to navigate these levels to the beat, to the music, and some of these levels land on you and you think, this is fucking impossible. I mean, look at this. And then, I don't know whether it's the flashing colours, I don't know whether it's the music. The music is fantastic, by the way, but you start to get into a weird kind of trippy zone, and everything just starts to flow. It's a weird game where you kind of have to try and think about it less than your instinct wants you to. You want to kind of analyse it and go, right, when have I to move? There, then there. And weirdly, sometimes when I've been struggling at a level, I've went, fuck it, man. See, like Luke Skywalker in the trench at the Death Star? I'm just going to use the Force, man. Watch this. Go with it. Here we go. No, fucked it. Boom, boom, doom, doom, boom, boom, doom, doom, boom, boom, doom, doom. And then you realise the amount of levels that you play where you realise, hold on, the music is telling me what to do here. The instruction on how to play these levels is in the music. Check this. Now you could look at this and go, right, I'm just going to memorise the patterns and see where I move and where it's safe to go. But what you actually want to do is tune into that beat. Oh, blew it. And when these moments come, where you tune into the beat, and you're listening to the music, and the lights are flashing, and your block is moving, and suddenly you've sussed a level out, a level that kind of felt like, oh my god, this is going to be a nightmare, and you're flowing through it. It is amazing. It feels amazing. It feels like a massive achievement, but it also feels just completely natural. It almost feels like, oh man, this is what music is for. To move you, to kind of move something on the inside. And there's so much content here as well. Like, there's loads of levels. You want to go back and revisit them. You can also, and this is very difficult, there's also bonuses you can get if you collect pickups as well, which will take you out of the normal A to B path you would normally be in to try and get these wee pickups. And that's a big challenge. I've tried some of them and it's a challenge, but look, a wee waltz. Oh, and if your timing's off, if you're off the tempo, if you're doing a whiplash and it's not quite the game's tempo, then you get punished for it, as it should be. Beautiful, man, beautiful. It's the kind of game, even just watching this footage getting played back here, kind of gives me goosebumps, man. Because I was lying in my bed beside my wife, and I was having my first shot at it a couple of weeks ago. And I wasn't really expecting much. I thought, here it'll be a wee indie kind of one of the wee games with blocks in it that Ryan always seems to be playing. And then I was just blown away for day one. Look at this. And you just need to have the balls to go bap, 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 bap. And tell me you don't want to buy this. Tell me, having watched that you don't now want to buy this. And there's just something about how it looks as well. It's one of the games where you play and other people see you playing it and they're like, oh, what's that? Because it just looks cool. It's just a cool looking game. Anyway, I can't recommend this enough. It's one of the best games I've played this year. I don't even know when it came out. I don't know anything about it. I bought it off Amazon. It was probably on Steam 5 years ago. Fuck, I don't know, right? But all I'm saying is, I've been walking around, going to work, meeting people, all that kind of stuff, and everybody I know who has a Nintendo Switch, I've been saying to them, you need to get Vectronome. You need to get Vectronome. You need.